What about the Lakers? They're in a situation they need a little bit of help from New Orleans. Possibly AD gives back $4 million. And we talk about one of those big dominoes falling, and you're going to have to talk a guy into taking less, if not significantly less amount of money. So do you go for the superstar? Do you go for the role player? What you got?
Well, my thing is, I know that, they're trying to get another max slot, but to me, the two legitimate max players are Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard. It doesn't look like they're going to get either one of those guys, so why not go for the role players and try to fill out that roster and try to do it the right way? You got a pretty good starting point with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I actually think Davis might give back the money. Number one, he's in Space Jam 2, so maybe somehow they could do a little, back door, give him the money back that way. But
is that legal, great? Frank? Can you do that, Frank?
No, when we know that doesn't happen in the NBA. We know that, but I'm sure they could do something. But the other way would be, if I'm him and you figure you can make up that money, and I understand it's $4 million, but think about how much good publicity $4 million could get you if you decide to kind of give it back. And think about, all the goodwill. Maybe he thinks like that. Maybe he doesn't. It's his money. He's entitled to it. So I hope Laker fans don't get too upset with Anthony Davis. He says, hey, listen, I want my money. He's got every right to every penny of that, but I'm sure it's something that he's considering.
Frank, what do you think when you hear this? D'Angelo Russell signs with the Lakers.
You know what? It'd be a pretty interesting story after everything that happened with him and Nick Young. Last year, and I know you were following it, if you look at the way D'Angelo Russell played, he did a really great job on the court. I think he answered a lot of questions about his maturity, both on and off the court. And I'll never forget, they had a game, I believe it was in January, in Houston. They were getting blown out by the Rockets. And Kenny Atkinson put Spencer Dinwiddie in the game, and he had D'Angelo Russell on the bench. And the Nets started making their comeback. And D'Angelo Russell was the biggest cheerleader on the bench. To me, that said a lot about him.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't he was insulted that he wasn't in there and I should be in there. The way his attitude, I thought that really said a lot about him, and he did a lot this past season to really change the perception of him. And I hope he strikes it rich in free agency as well. He certainly earned it.
Yeah, now, Frank, I know it's a feel-good story. I'm pulling from the kid from day one. I remember covering his draft, but he gets caught with a little substance at the airport. Does that deter you? Is he mature enough? Because the L.A. that was too big for him at the time just got even bigger. Come on, Frank.
Yeah, but also, Ryan, look at it this way. If he goes there, he's going in as the number 3 guy at most, because you're going to have LeBron, Anthony Davis. And there's going to be a ton of pressure now on Anthony Davis because, you're playing in New Orleans, and yes, everyone acknowledged that he was a great player, but he did only make the playoffs a couple of times, only got out of the first round once. So just like LeBron, you go play for the Lakers as a star, you could say it's unfair. It's like playing for the Yankees in New York. You're being judged on championships. So getting to the playoffs, not good enough. Getting to an NBA Finals, okay, now we're talking. But ultimately they're going to say, did you do what Jerry West, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Wilt, Shaq, Kobe, did you do what those guys did? Did you come here and win a championship? And if you don't, I hate to use the word failure because LeBron James is anything but a failure, but that chapter, it'll be looked at differently if you go to L.A. and you don't win. So in that respect, in terms of D'Angelo Russell, there'll be pressure on him, but all the pressure in the world is going to be on Anthony Davis and still on LeBron. So,
Frank, how much credit does Magic Johnson get if the Lakers win a championship next year? Or is this? Who do we credit here? Is this Clutch Sports? Is this LeBron James? Where do we go?
I don't like the way that Clutch Sports handled it and Rich Paul handled it, but you can't argue with the results. He wanted to get his client to L.A., and it sounds like Anthony Davis wanted to be there. Rich Paul's number 1 client definitely wanted Anthony Davis there, and Rich Paul took a hit, but ultimately he did his job. He got Anthony Davis to the Lakers. I think that Magic is still going to be involved some way. We were joking around about tampering. Now Magic can kind of meet up with free agents. He could talk about them in interviews. I still think on the periphery, he's going to be involved. And I think Magic also knows that he's getting a lot of criticism for the way that he handled his exit. So I think to kind of make good with a lot of people, I think he's going to want to be on the side with the Lakers and do anything that they want. And now he can do it in a role where he doesn't catch any grief. And like you said, they got the trade that they wanted. I think New Orleans did a great job with getting back what they got back, but the Lakers wanted Anthony Davis, and when the dust settled, they got Anthony Davis.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.